Greetings all. Hello. Hi. I hope you're well. I hope you're treating yourselves well, and of course others. My name is Clair, and today we are talking about, I'm hearing near future, but also why is life like this? So the so far feeling is maybe there's like a depletion. You are visually seeing like ramifications for walking away or stopping a habit, behavior, lifestyle, walking away from people. It's visual. It's something that people are observing. I think there is a lot of emotions in the situation. I'm not so sure that you particularly care about the emotions that are other than yours currently. Maybe you're starting to realize that other people had more of a dog in the fight than you realized. Like, maybe you've been an inspiration, but kind of under wraps. It seems like you might have been sailing a boat happily, glee. You enjoy doing this. You enjoy going through the motions of the things that you've been doing in the past or recent past or current. You're enjoying yourself, but it's definitely stirring up emotions for better or for worse. I think that over time your way will be seen, especially with the Nine of Pentacles. I think that there's a lot of communication and chatter either around you. Maybe you're hearing a lot of things, like maybe you're feeling inspired to do things more frequently or starting to do things more frequently, taking care of yourself, walking away from habits. There's a big change. You have the Nine of Pentacles, and it's really showing, because you had the Six of Swords before, and was kind of the current feeling, and the Six of Swords implicates that you are you have been slowly moving away from something indefinitely is what you hope to attain, but it might have taken some time or effort, or maybe you just had to see things in a certain way for it to make sense. But the Nine of Pentacles is what you are feeling. You're like seeing something change in others or yourself, and it is inspiring your growth, but stronger. Like, I think that you're feeling more motivated through the excitement of like rebellion, but also I think that you're seeing the fruits of your labor in a sense of like, maybe you've been slow about something. The snail is really catching my eye in the Nine of Pentacles. I think that you have maybe been slow bloomer or slow in something in your life. Maybe just you take a while. Maybe you're one of those people like myself where you learn the hard way, it seems. Like, you might feel like you're doing things right, or you might feel like you're very very set in your ways because you feel a strongness towards them, but truly you kind of end up doing things for a long time, or having to spend a lot of time doing things in order to actually change your perspective. Like, you could be very open-minded, you could be very smart, you whatever, educated professionally or not. I think that you have a very sense of like, you have a way of doing things and it's worked, but it might take you a long time, or you really have to go through the motions of learning things, maybe the hard way sometimes, because you are so steadfast. Maybe when you do learn things, you really get them down, or like you are not dumb. You're not dumb, but thick-skulled, hard-headed, smart, but complex. You are burning bright in your field, I think, or your playfulness is really catching some eyes. I think there's a lightheartedness, but it is a trueness. Like, you will show your cards to anyone. I think that you're very honest. If you feel any inkling of people opening up to you, you might just kind of like jump the gun in a sense, but I think you're really willing to show people your bottom line, or you're willing to expose yourself in fun and games. Like, you're willing to be expressive in every sense that makes people feel comfortable, because I think that you just want to get to know people. The Knight of Wands is someone who, yes, the Knight is someone that is inspired, good ideas, I think, very inspirational towards, like, you make people want to express themselves to you, or in general in their life. I think that they see good results in the way that you are, or they could see themselves in the way that you act, and it inspires I'm hearing revolution, but I think that you can kind of see yourself rubbing off on people probably pretty frequently in life, or as of lately, whether you like this or not, it could get under your skin, because you feel like you've been building the pyramids by yourself this whole time, and maybe people are trying to like just figure you out, or like be friends with you, or it could be kind of more narcissistic in a way that people want to figure you out to figure out their own potion. But nevertheless, I think that you kind of have a no fantasy. You had the Seven of Cups in reverse, but in this instance, it kind of felt like you're no nonsense. Like, you want to expose yourself. I keep on saying that. So maybe you like being like naked, or maybe you are excited about the summer because it's less clothing. Maybe you're excited about a certain item of clothing that you are wanting to bring out in your arsenal. Maybe you are excited about a way that you are now, that you are wanting to try out with people in life. Maybe you're just feeling more confident. Maybe there's something about you that you've changed and it's looking good. There's results to be had. I think that you are no nonsense, and maybe that's why people are observing you, that you kind of have like a steadfastness in your element. You are going to be yourself, even if you do change frequently, or it's hard for people to keep up with you. They see that there is a strong you-ness at the base of it all. Like, it's inspiring, because everyone is put on this world with their own personality, even if we all are very similar or go through very similar things, which makes us seem cohesive. I'm hearing symbiotic, but I think that we all are kind of like cogs in this big machine, so we see similarities in each other. Sometimes it gets frustrating, but other times it's like, how can I take my perspective and put it into my personality so that I can see difference but still remain on this like physical plane. Like, so in a certain degree, you want to be able to be your creative self. I think you really want to express yourself to others, but it seems the way that you observe the world as of right now could be a little frustrating. I think that you could have anger towards your surroundings, or you could feel like you need to hide or just sneak in periods of being your true self. You might feel like you're under a veil, or having to fight, I hear, for your life, but also, like, I hope not. I'm hoping, whatever, aside, I think with the moon, I think you have been dealing with a lot of strength, like your survival skills have elevated to the point where you can see yourself and others, and that gives you patience towards others, but you desire ultimately someone who can keep up with you. You don't want to teach people. I think you want to find someone who's even, like an even playing field, in business, relationships in general, finding love within people. You might enjoy different perspectives, a lot of different kinds of people. They don't have to be on your level in every way. I think that's only reserved for those that you will share yourself with. I think that in order for you to share your true self, like, you are very, very personable, very social. I think that you could have made this a part of your life in some way. You could have like some very social aspect. You take on teaching, like I'm hearing public learning, or just like you could be a part of a team or team building. I think that you inspire through observation, but more so you show love to people. So you don't really have time to teach them. I think you want to dote on people. I think you want to smother them with feelings and what you know. I think you want to subscribe to how people feel and think, but it takes that communication. Like, if someone is immature or someone is hurtful, someone is battling their own things, but they take it out on you, I think it is a sickening feeling. That could be what you're working through as of right now. Maybe you're having to really figure out how to deal with this world's plights, or it could be very serious or it could not be. But I think that there is a disgust for how people conduct themselves if it is through pain. Like, I think if people are taking their pain out on others, you will remove yourself, and or it will bubble up to the surface. Maybe you're trying to figure out if there's a way to get around that. Maybe you're trying to feel stronger in the sense where you kind of know you need to work on that. Maybe you need to work on Page of Pentacles. I think that you really need to work on showing your colors and being vibrant in emotion and showing yourself and not wanting to give up on people so quickly. I think you have a very strong sense of what you've built and what you have, what you can offer, what you bring to the table, how resilient and beautiful it looks to thrive through thick and thin, and or to see no judgment in others. I think that you truly understand that, like, some people say they don't judge, some people are pushed to the test. Like, it seems like maybe you're one of those people that feels like you really can't lie to life. Like, maybe you're bad at lying, maybe you have been someone who tried to throughout the past and maybe you got away with it. Maybe you had a really fun existence at one point, but you're starting to feel like things are catching up with you, and or it just seems like things come to the surface no matter what you do. So you're kind of trying to stay the straight and narrow, and you don't want to hold on to any situations that could be retrieving baggage or karma that you are not associated with. Like, you don't want to hold the weight of something like a marsh. Like, you don't want to jump into someone else's bog and be like held down by the weight of their situation. If it's not that it's not beneficial to you, but some people need to figure out the things that they need to figure out in order to be more successful in their life and others. Like, we're all cogs, and if you're doing more work to overcorrect someone doing less work because they have given up or they don't see the way or something or other, there's just in this situation, it seems right now, I think that you need to identify with the Knight of Cups your role in delving into other people's business and or overextending yourself. You could be just really good at communicating so you can hold a conversation for better or worse. There's just a sense of, there's a lot of pages and knights. The Seven of Cups is also identifying secrecy, and the moon is identifying secrecy. There's a lot of things where it seems like you've been very secretive, or you're seeing that you need to be, but also you have been in the past, but it's been detrimental. I think that you are seeing a way through in silence. Like, it seems like a big ball of people can definitely feel what's going on in the air, who are who identify with the situation. Like, not everyone is gonna see everything because certain individuals or people are on different missions. So, but say in your life, it's becoming very obvious what you are identifying as and or wanting to march towards, what you are seeing upheaval in. There's just an obviousness in the nature of your being, I'm hearing. But I think that the Ace of Wands, maybe the world is kind of showing you, specifically you, a way in or out of things. Maybe people are starting to see that they're losing you, or it seems like you are kind of like becoming more knowledgeable of your surroundings, so it would be hard to not be nonsense to you. I think that you're only, maybe you're easy to approach, maybe you're not, but I think that people are really thinking twice about their relationship with you, or maybe what's happened, or how they've led their own life. Maybe it doesn't have to be so involved in you, but it's just around you. And maybe with the Strength, it seems people are realizing how taxing it can be to not show their true nature. Maybe there's a sense of like taking things out on people that didn't deserve it because you didn't allow yourself to feel things naturally. Things in the dark coming to light. I think if you have felt very negatively, maybe you're seeing the side of, how can I resolve this, no matter if I ultimately caused this feeling or not. I've allowed it to simmer, so therefore I also have the ability to relinquish it. There is a strength about you that is maybe nauseating some people, but it is enticing you. Maybe you feel a strong hunger towards the things your march. Like, I'm hearing march, but there's like a chanting and a sense of like, people want to love you. You'll find people that will want to love you. I think that there's a strong sense of like, people do really care for you in every sense of the word. Maybe they feel rejected, but things will come to light will show through, light will find you, and it's coming. I'm hearing it's coming. Secrecy is profound, but it also has an end, and I think that's exciting. I think that the end is near for you in silence. So be ready to show yourself. Be ready to understand your emotions and identify where you stand in speaking about them. So I'm thinking that's the gist of it. I hope you have a lovely day, and you gotta know I love you. Pile 2. Greetings, all. I hope you're treating yourselves well. Pile 2. Today, we speak on near future. Why is life about this? Why is life like this? Let's get it. You could have dealt with I'm hearing bodily harm, but I think more of like a bee sting. You could have fractured something, broken something, felt like you did. You could just be resting. You could be in like a forced rest because you injured yourself, or like pink eye, strep throat, some sort of sickness. Maybe it's unidentified. Maybe you kind of feel like things are crumbling. Maybe you're feeling sick on the outside and the inside in a way like maybe you're not normally very sad, but you have been feeling very helpless or beaten down by the situation, the magician, but in reverse. I think you have felt very strong in certain ways and you are feeling depleted now in those same ways. Maybe the things that you have held on to have ultimately taken hold of you and sank their claws in, but for worse. I think things could have turned on you. Maybe the situation turned vicious or beastly. The magician in reverse is like maybe you felt smarter than you conducted yourself as, and maybe it's an embarrassment thing. Maybe you're feeling like life is punishing you, and also you're starting to see like the results of something that you thought was better in or outside of yourself. The Wheel of Fortune, but upright, is a good sign. I think there's a sense of luck coming towards you or life. If you can see lightness in the situation, if you can afford yourself the luxury of laughing it off, finding humor, maybe just letting go of things that you know you can't control, but they somehow hold a big grasp in your life. The Wheel of Fortune is not nothing. Like, it is a sense of there's foul play maybe, or trickery, overall very unpleasant feeling. Maybe you could be having bad dreams. Like maybe you've had like consistently bad dreams. They don't have to be similar in any way. Maybe like I've been having for the past like the whole month, I've had dreams with people that I really like and or enjoy, past people I don't talk to, things like that. But I have pleasant memories with them, but these dreams have been just terrible. Like I wake up in a bad mood, I wake up disoriented. It's just really not ideal. Maybe you are suffering from similar situations. Maybe you're starting to see the situation for what it is. Like it could have felt nice or good or something. Maybe you're deceived. Maybe you're kind of unveiling the truth of the things that you've been through recently or in the past. Something is showing through. With this Wheel of Fortune, I think that you are kind of by the book in a sense of, you know that there will be repercussion if you conduct yourself how you have been or how people around you do, or just like in general, you understand that there's repercussions for the way that you act. So there's also the Wheel of Fortune's holding a snake. I think you're seeing people fall to the wayside. You're seeing repercussions being had. Maybe there's judgment. I think that there's a sense of like people showing themselves over time. Maybe you're seeing people separate. There could be a separation that you're having to deal with personally. Like it doesn't have to deal specifically with you separating people, but you're having to see friend groups and or loved ones. Maybe you work in a field where people are like being separated judicially. What is it? I'm having a blank drawn. Legally. Maybe you're like in seeing legal ramifications or legal actions being had. Maybe you're just needing to it could be like a starting over, because this is the 10 and the magician was a 1. Maybe in order for you to start over, you need to allow yourself change. Maybe it's as small steps at a time. I think that there's a need for building, but every day you can't plan out something big in this situation. It is you'll figure it out along the way. The 4 of Wands, I think that the answers will be revealed to you over time. I think that there is a serious need to plan how you will be if you get the things that you want, or just planning out the judgment that you feel, and or like if you have to communicate in a certain way, if you were given the things that you asked for, if you see people show their true colors, or if you're given an opportunity to do something again, how would you change it? How would you address it differently? Did you do all the right things the first time? Did you get what you wanted, even if you acted how you wanted? Like, maybe you did things in a way that felt good to you or true to you, but you didn't like the results, so you would want to do that again. Maybe it's like a testing, but actual test. Maybe it's like for school. Maybe you need to study a little bit more or ask for help. The 4 of Wands is big, strong card for building, but usually with others, or it feels like right now. I think that there is bonding, there's strength within community. Traveling could be in your future, or a sense of going to see someone in order to attain information. It's more than just you in a pod. Like, you need to dive outwards in order to attain some more knowledge and or more life situations. You could be in need of upheaval in emotions. Like, maybe you're in a bad mood frequently, or maybe you're high stressed, the temperance but upright. Maybe you're very temperamental or not. You could have a very steady sense of emotion. You don't show yourself very often, but you feel lonely. Also, you can cut that off. Like, you know that it's a feeling that will subside over time, and especially if you keep yourself busy, maybe something will come your way. I don't think that is necessarily in your timeline. I think that there is a need for you to be more open-minded towards love. It's going to find you, but you need to be open. Like, you might be too strong towards yourself. Like, maybe you need to extend your feelings more frequently. If you are trying to date, maybe in ways that you feel is oversharing, or you are someone that plays hard to get, or just allows things to fall away if they aren't natural. My thing is, if I go towards something and it ends up like hurting in some way, if I go towards something and it ends up hurting me in a certain way, or if I get really put out by the situation, or if I feel negative about the situation in the end, I'm like, why did I even go towards it? Maybe that's happened a lot. I think that there is an overarching hurt that is leaking into your now-ness or your current situation. Even if you don't have anyone at all, I think that you might allow yourself to feel negatively towards someone else, and or towards love in general, feelings, being loved, being received by people. Maybe you feel heavenly or just really strong. There's a sense of you that kind of feels put out in sharing yourself. You feel like it should be easy, but maybe in your life it's not. Maybe it won't be. You might have to kind of extend yourself in a way that is personal to you. It might not be very big, it could be, but there is a sense of a give and a take that you need to find in your personal life, how you can. The way that you talk to people, your communication skill can be refined in a sense that it can be your wingman in getting places, attaining knowledge, love, investment. There is a partnership and or your need to be able to invest in the right people, be able to let people down. You need to be comfortable in all of the realms of situations, quick on your toes, but also emotionally invested in every situation enough to know, for better or worse, how to withdraw and or give. It's like effortlessly you have to be the dual of confrontation, but also giving and taking love. Like giving and taking love in a sense of when people deserve a smile, just giving them that smile. When people deserve an open ear, allotting yourself to hear them out for like 2 minutes. If someone needs to hear them vent about something, people want to spill themselves to you. People like to stare at you. There is a path of yours that seems attainable in other people's life because you are so open and honest. Maybe you feel that that's the reason you have needed to hide yourself in the past because other people have hid you. Maybe it's kind of like an ongoing, the Lovers in reverse. It's like an ongoing parable of people really latching onto you, people really loving you. You know that you are helpful in other people's life, that you really know how to change someone's life and or just like tell people what they want to hear, for better or for worse. But you've got it, and people see it and they want to emulate it, but in their own life. And I think that it's up to you to find solace in that you are a creator, you are an inspiration to people. You will have to be social, you will have to expose I keep on saying expose yourself. So maybe you're kind of like the sun in a sense of you shine no matter what you do. Maybe you try to like hide things that you do, hide the recipe, or you're starting to be more standoffish, or you have been really, because you are smart, even if you weren't like dimming your light because you knew that you had a light. Maybe you were just like, I'm annoyed with other people, and now you have something that's like glowing within you and people are seeing it and it's even more annoying. Like it could just be a whole whirlwind of things that's going on. But truly, there are people in this world that will find you to help build you up, and you can soar with them. There's an even playing field to be had in this world, even if it's not so obvious at all times. Presenting yourself in love, but also like you can slither in and out of situations, and the snake is not it's not a good or a bad thing. It's a neutral thing. You are able to mind your business and get around situations and make it so that people don't want to interfere with what you're doing because you look like you're going about your business. Like don't bother whatever you're doing. Maybe you've presented yourself in that sort of way. Like they are very smart, they're very steadfast, they're very talented. When people get you alone, like in business situations or love or whatever it is, I think that you really enjoy extending your hand. I think you really grow from people, whether you identify with that or not. You do feel refreshed at certain points when you do find those people that you can communicate with. And maybe it's not so often or frequent that happens, but when it does happen, you can really see the benefit in humans. It's sounding really robotic, but truly, like, I think that you might have had a lot of interactions that made you overwhelmed or overworked. There's a lot of twos and peoples. You could have had a lot of relationships that were very close, whether they just sizzled out or ended really badly. I think that you identify yourself as someone who can be really friendly, but is smart enough to know that what you bring to the table is no longer a joke or it's no longer easy to attain. Being around you, the world on the bottom. I think the world has been on the bottom. I've shuffled these cards, but I think it was on the bottom earlier, and it is still. I think you are very natural, very strong, no bullshit, good at harvesting, good at growing, physical, mental, emotional. You've really got it together, even if you haven't been all there, or there's been parts of you that didn't seem the part. You could really just take on different positions. Maybe you've seemed like kind of a downtrodden person, or someone who could have been an easy target, or just someone that people didn't take seriously. Maybe how you presented yourself in a way that kind of led people to believe that the things that you say are whatever, or just like up in the air. Maybe you don't always show up to plans, and or you don't always explain yourself well, but truly at the end of the day, it's starting to show that the fact with the Emperor in reverse, I feel your ways, though, might be confusing and annoying and maybe not perfect at all in certain aspects. Maybe you've hurt people, maybe you haven't hurt people. It's starting to show that there is change to be had in all these things. Your strength is your relevance and your mental health. I think that there is a honesty amongst yourself. Maybe you didn't really show your cards or your hand before, but it's always like you seem kind of innocuous or non-aggressive, maybe easy to be around or approach, a good friend. There's aspects to you that people really enjoy, but I think maybe you could have been overlooked, maybe not taken seriously. It could have been obvious in your life or not. I think you really have to battle with, when it comes down to it, maybe you're starting to realize that you're battling that feeling of being overlooked. Like, if it is shown through in your life in some way or not, I think you're really having to come to terms with the fact that there might be an aspect of you that has shown, you might be registering to people different than how you were trying to present yourself, but that's just the way that you are, or you are learning for better. You might have appeared one way and now you are appearing another way, and it's showing that you are going to make it through. You are going to try your best. You're going to learn from the situation. If it gets you down, you will remain present, even if you have to remove yourself. I think that there is a honesty there, and with the Emperor in reverse, maybe how a lot of people it could be like a lot of people are reacting similar to the way that you are, because you are very confusing. Maybe you're like one in a million, but you need to figure out the way that you can present yourself that is not that's helpful to you and helps others understand where you're coming from sometimes. Like, it can be okay to be a certain way and to not explain that ever, but I think at the end of the day, you are wanting to have some sort of upheaval and or understanding amongst others. So there's that to be had if you so desire, and if you, there's just understanding in some way or another. I think that you are working really steadfast and very strong, even if you are not seeing the results always. I think that they are there for you, and you gotta know I love you.